Police Minister Bheki Cele says the SAPS Special Task Force was swift and showed stellar work last night in rescuing the Ministers of Defence and in the Presidency who were being held hostage by eNCA vets last night, among others. Cele visited Brits in the northwest with the embattled Police Commissioner Veterans Standoff, and they were launching the National Safer Festive Season campaign. Our reporter Silindelo Masikane is with me now, and she joins us for the latest. So, I mean, as an aside, I cannot believe that we're talking about festive season. I mean, we really are so close to the end of the year, so I'm still getting over that one. But obviously the thing top of everyone's mind is what happened in Irene last night. And the police minister had quite a lot to say. Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Brits, of course. They were launching their festive season operations, basically a show of force to show that, they're ready to combat criminal activity. But, of course, on top of everyone's mind is what's transpired at the St. George's Hotel in Pretoria last night. And, of course, we know that the police minister, as well as the commissioner, had to be involved in those operations to try and ensure that that hostage situation was dealt with. And so he went into great detail in terms of the communication between himself and the ministers who were there, what time the operation started, and when he saw that the situation has gotten a bit out of hand and it's a bit tense now, that is when he decided that he needs to bring in his special forces to try and ensure that the ministers are retrieved and safely so as well. So he did deny the allegations that ammunition was used through that operation. He says it was merely stun grenades, and that the task team or the special force team that was sent there is highly skilled and highly trained to be able to deal with a situation like that. And he commended them for actually being able to conduct that operation without any loss of life. Let's take a listen. Cool.
They got exactly at 10 to 10. 10 o'clock, they're finished. They got in there 10 to 10. 10 o'clock, all ministers were out and everybody was on his stomach. Congratulations, my boy, sir. So, don't guess here. If you want to talk about Napopoesa, come to us. We'll tell you who are the police. That's a group of that special task force. There are less than 100 in the police. They're still less, Commissioner. They're less than 100. I call them human machines. When chips are down, when the world begins to be dark, I bring them to light on. That's a unit in the South African police. That when the situation is on the air, you saw where it came from. It came from the air. When the situation is in the water, we send them there. When the situation is on the land, like last night, we send them there.
Gosh, it sounds like something from a Marvel movie. Yeah. They come from the air, they come from the water. Okay, he's clearly...
He trusts these guys.
He's proud of his team, and also, let's be honest, these are the military vets who earlier in the week outside Luthuli House were threatening to use firearms, who said, we are military trained. If you come with your guns, we'll come with ours. So it's certainly not something that can be underplayed.
Certainly so.
Particularly bearing in mind that in July we saw the unrest that was also not expected.
Yeah.
We are too in a bit wet.
The Minister, Sally, that was there possibly an intelligence failure? Could this not have been averted? And he said, look, there's always room for improvement. But in this case, I mean, these were a group of people that they believed were in a series of meetings. It wasn't really expected.
Trust had already been established.
Exactly, that things would take such a turn. So I think in this particular case, it can be commended that the situation was dealt with without people having to lose their lives. So I think we can give them that in terms of having to really deal with a situation that was quite unexpected.
And of course, the other part really interesting from the briefing that you went to is the fact the police commissioner, Veterans Standoff, was there. Now, we know that a court has found that he tried to stop the independent police watchdog IPID from probing finances around this grabber machine that may or may not have been some sort of smokescreen to try and get money to pay people for votes in the ANC presidential campaign. So he's in a whole world of trouble. President's still considering that. But he was there with the police minister. It's well known that he and the police minister don't get on. How did the police commissioner come across? What did he have to say?
It was really quite interesting. It was the first time I actually got to interact with the police commissioner since, that court judgment, as well as, I think, a public appearance, really, from the police commissioner following that notice of suspension from the president last week, saying to him, why should you not be suspended at this point? He is on duty, like he was there for these festive season operation launch. And I had to put it to him, has he responded to that notice of suspension? Does he believe he should be suspended? Let's take a listen to what he has to say.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you whether I should be suspended or not, because that I must tell to the president. So I will therefore reserve it on that part. Yes, I have submitted my representation to the president as a call.
All right, so not saying a lot. I suppose there must be times when it's quite nice to have your cap low and your mask on, just to hide a bit from the public.
I mean, I like you talk about the tension or between the two of them. I mean, it's quite visible, but we know the minister has denied that there is any tension between them. But I mean, when you see their interactions, you can tell something's a bit off. Something's
up. And are we all set for the festive season anti-crime campaign?
It's certainly so.
Top of the bang, hasn't it? Yes.
Certainly so. I mean, from what I saw today, it does look as though the police force is certainly ready for whatever may arise, and they're also involving the youth in terms of getting them involved in combating crime. So I think it remains to be seen whether the operations that will be conducted will actually will have any positive results and actually minimize the crime levels that we do see increasing around that time.
Yeah, let's certainly hope so. Thank you very much for that update, Silindelo Masikane there.